Hi, you guys. Welcome to Too Much Tuesdays, where you come if life gets to seem a little bit too much. I think I started too early. Welcome to Too Much Tuesdays, where you get to come if your life seems like a little bit too much. I'm Tara Greenway, Master Healer, and I am here to just give you guys energy tools, really pretty simple ones, so that you can make your life better, richer, happier, less anxious. Lately, we've been talking about how to be happier. And I've been telling you guys that I realized lately that it's actually important to be happy. There is one thing I always say, my one wish is that everybody would know that they are already completely connected to the universe, source, the creator of all that is, God, the divine, whatever you want to call that energy of unconditional love that runs through all things. It sounds like just this like really like healery, namby-pamby thing to say, right? My one wish is everyone would know they were connected. But it's for real. And the way that I got to that wish is by working with hundreds of clients who many of them had this same like root based belief that was driving them crazy. So that's what we do in my work. I do all kinds of different healing work, but one really major thing that I do that I love is called theta healing. And in theta healing, we help you to discover the beliefs that you have that you might or might not even be aware of that are kind of running your life. Because if you have a belief that's running your life and it's a really negative belief, then you get to change that belief. Did you know that? You get to change your own beliefs. And so what I found and what we try to do is work down to the very root belief at the bottom of all the other like little beliefs that are bugging you. There's one that's really deep, and if we clear that one really deep rooted belief, the other little annoying ones will automatically clear up instantaneously, when you get to the root belief. Just like if you dig up the root of a plant, the whole plant is gone, right? So that's why we want to get to that root belief. And a lot of people's root belief is, I've found, that they feel that they are disconnected from the universe. And in fact, it's a little more dramatic than that. They feel like they look around and they can see that even though maybe they are a loving person, a compassionate person. Do you ever feel this way? Like you're a loving, compassionate person who wants peace and wants everyone to have enough, and you have like these positive feelings for others, but you look around and you see maybe your family, maybe your community, maybe the world, they don't seem to understand love, like at all. They don't seem to understand that there is abundance, that there is enough for people, and that we need to like share, And so people have come to this conclusion like, oh no, I am on this planet that people are just really horrible here. And so I guess I got sent here as some kind of punishment. That's the conclusion they reach. And they probably reach it when they're really little, because like as an adult, you probably don't think that you got sent to this planet to punish you, right? Maybe you do, but probably not. But every belief that we have is stored in ourselves. And so if you have this really strong belief from your childhood, then it's going to stay in there somewhere until you bring it to your consciousness and decide to change it. So many of my clients have this belief of, I'm not connected to the creator of all that is, or maybe they feel like, well, I'm connected. I feel the love. I feel very close to, the universe, nature, animals, but it's these other people, these humans in my family or in my town or in the world that I see on the news. They are so disconnected. This is awful. I actually had one client, this is back when I was like a guest on a radio show called News for the Soul. I did that every other week. It's a really cool radio station. It's newsforthesoul.com, and they have all kinds of healers on there. And I would take like call-in clients. And this one client, that called in said that she as a child, she remembered feeling so um, alone here, so different from the other people in her family and anyone that she knew, that at night she would go outside into the yard and look up at the stars and she could feel like God, and she would go like this and raise her arms so that the people from her like planet that she must have come from, her better, higher home, could find her and take her back there. She said she eventually stopped doing that, but she was from a place, a home of such, abuse. They didn't understand love, and she knew that there was love, but that it wasn't there. And she was like, just get me out of here. And then the beautiful thing is that as an adult, she could see, wait, that can't be right. And we were able to, change some of her belief systems so that she could understand that actually, just because we're here as humans on this earth, which does need a lot of work, I agree, the earth could use some changes, but just because we're here and things aren't like our ideal vision of what they could be, doesn't mean that we got thrown here, abandoned as a punishment. It doesn't mean that we're not connected anymore. It doesn't mean that we're lost. Have you ever had these feelings of being lost and abandoned and disconnected? Because it would be pretty hard to be happy then, right? And that's what we're talking about, remember? How to be happier, how to have a life where you just live at like a high vibration so that you feel joyful and so that others around you will automatically come up a little bit in their vibration. And so we can all be happier. So I'm going to give you guys some downloads in just a few minutes that will, yeah, thank you, Kelly. It really does make sense. Changing a person's belief systems, changing our own belief systems really helps us to have a different view of the world. So you can see why if you feel this disconnection, you would feel sad and kind of worried about yourself, right? Here I am all by myself. Or if you do understand your own connection, which is a wonderful thing, but you look around you and maybe your kids who are, teenagers or adults, or maybe your siblings or your parents, maybe people in your town, or maybe, like I said, just when you watch the news, you see, wow, these people are suffering. This is awful, maybe then that's when you feel like, oh, look, I'm connected, but they're not. And then it's really hard to be happy, right? Because it would seem selfish to be happy. And then you get really burdened, And when you get burdened, you get eventually annoyed because like, no matter how much you do for people, it doesn't really seem to help. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that people don't really like when you come at them trying to fix them or even help them? People don't really like that. It offends them in a certain way. And the whole thing is that they are connected to the universe, to that divine energy. Of course they are. Why would everybody except for you, or everybody except for like your son, be connected to the universe, but just not that person? We're all connected. We are all just part of it. And so then why are things so bad, right? Why is your life so hard? Why is your family member's life so hard? I think it's because we are here. We came here to this earth, each one of us, to learn stuff, for our souls to learn these like soul lessons that will elevate our consciousness. So of course, when you're like 5 years old or 10 or 15 years old, even, you're not going to be going around probably going, what I need to do is elevate my soul's consciousness. Even when you're 25 or 35, you might not think in those terms. But I think that that's what our soul is doing. And that's why we get into these really interesting situations, right? Because our soul is just like, I'm going to learn. I want to learn even more. Our soul doesn't care how hard it is particularly, but we care. So what if we could come here to the earth, Understand that we're connected still. We're not abandoned. We're not betrayed. Understand that even our loved ones, our families, our friends, even the most dysfunctional family member or friend that you have, even the most ridiculously crazy politician or show business person or whatever, everyone, what if every single person were connected to the universe, to that divine energy? And what if they're just learning their lessons? Wouldn't that be better than everybody is disconnected and I have to like fix them or save them or something? So you get to change your perspective, your belief systems right now. They're your beliefs and you get to change them. You made them up in the first place, except for the ones that came from like your genetic line. And even those, you agreed to come into your genetic line. Why did you do that? There's a lot of really cool things in our genetics too. But we did inherit some tendencies toward like, whatever our thing is that we're working on. But just the fact that you're here, that you exist, means that your genetics are really strong because you survived. It also means that you're a healer because we automatically heal ourselves as humans. We've kind of gotten a little out of touch with that because we've like farmed that out. Well, that's for doctors, that's for psychologists, but really we are capable of healing ourselves. So if you exist, you're strong and you know how to heal yourself. You just have to kind of like remember it. And so you are here to learn lessons, but what if you could learn in a way that's fun? Did you ever have, I know you did, remember a couple of different teachers at school? Remember your very least favorite teacher when you were in like grade school or middle school or high school, your very least favorite teacher that was mean and like everybody hated them. And did you learn from them? You probably did because they made you. I remember my geometry teacher, and I don't want to talk negatively about anybody, but if anybody went to high school with me, they know that the geometry teacher at our school was very, very strict. So strict that I tell my kids stories about the list of rules that she handed out on the first day of class. And one of the rules was, do not turn your head. I'm not making this up. And we were all so scared of her that we would try to abide by these rules and we would learn geometry like this. So did I learn stuff in that class? I did. I learned stuff in that class. But now think of your favorite teacher, the one that loved kids and kids loved them. Did you learn stuff from that teacher? I bet you did. Who did you learn more from? The super strict, mean teacher or your favorite teacher? You learn better when you're feeling joy. You learned better from your favorite teacher. You probably learned even a way of being from your favorite teacher. I know that my favorite teacher of all time, I have a lot of favorite teachers because I've had a lot of good teachers, but one of my very favorites was my second grade teacher. And one thing that I learned from her was like a certain lightness and joy. She seemed to think that it was fun to go to school and fun to learn how to like write. And that had never occurred to me. I was a very serious child. And I, even in kindergarten and first grade, was like, okay, apparently I'm here in this class of like 30 kids and I have to learn this stuff now. Okay, I'm going to learn. And when I got to second grade, my teacher was like young and really cool. And, and she taught me like, oh, it could be fun to learn. So what if you could learn your soul's lessons and kind of have a good time while you're doing it instead of learning by all these harsh ways? You can. So I want you to know that you are connected to all that is, that everyone you know, no matter how not okay they seem, they're all connected and they're just learning the lessons. And I want you to know that you get to learn your soul's lessons in ways that are like easy and flowing. Maybe you could watch a Facebook Live. Maybe you could read a book. Maybe you could take a class, meditate. There's all kinds of, maybe you could be in love and learn about love from a positive love relationship instead of from a negative love relationship, or friendship. There's all kinds of really joyful ways to learn, and that's what we want you to be able to do. So I'm going to give you some downloads now. Would you like to, so this downloads is just like with a computer program. If you don't have that computer program in your computer, download it from the internet, right? I'm going to download you guys with your permission, so you just have to say yes. Because her least favorite teacher was her second grade teacher. I'm sure it wasn't the same one as I'm thinking of. I think mine was new in my year, and she was also fresh out of college, I think. So she was just this really young, fun teacher. I'm going to ask for the universe to download you with these programs, and you just say yes. And if you don't want those downloads, you just don't say yes, and you won't get it. It's up to you. So would you like to know what it feels like and how, and that you deserve to, and you're willing to be here on the earth without feeling punished or abandoned? And would you like to know what it feels like and how to enjoy your time here on earth? What it feels like and how, and also that you deserve to and are willing to feel your complete connection. You already are connected, but you want to know how it feels, that you could actually be more aware of it. I'm going to say these and then download them all at once. And would you like to know what it feels like and how, and you're willing to and deserve to learn your lessons that your soul wants to learn without unnecessary pain and suffering? And would you like to find and achieve your soul's purpose, which is something we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes, without that unnecessary pain and suffering as well? And would you like to know how to feel unconditional love for others without taking on their burdens or their soul lessons? You can't learn something for someone else. I used to try to do this with my kids. Doesn't work. Long story short. So would you like to know what it feels like and how to love someone without trying to take on their burdens or trying to learn their lessons for them? And would you like to know what it feels like and how to have, I call it loving detachment for others? So you love them, but you don't get mixed up and think that you are them. So I'm going to download you. If you're live right now, if you're watching the recording, you can just say yes and get those downloads now. And so now I want to guide you through a meditation that is going to help you to feel your connection to the universe. Sound good? Let's start. I want you to close your eyes for me. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a few moments, and then breathe out really slowly. Then I want you to just visualize going down into the earth and allowing a ball of that flowing earth energy flow up through the soles of your feet, all the way up your legs, up through each chakra of your body. And when you get to your heart chakra, I want you to just allow that energy to come out and just kind of glow through your whole body. It feels like kind of an expansive, warming light. And then allow that energy to come out past your body, kind of in like a bubble all around your body. And I just want you to remember your connection to what's right around you. And remember how your molecules aren't so very different from the molecules around you of air or of the floor or of your chair or bed. And then I want you to remember your connection to the earth. You are here on this planet Earth, and you decided to come here. And the planet is actually made out of minerals. It actually is a giant mineral. And there's minerals in your body. Your body wouldn't operate, wouldn't be alive without the minerals inside it. And there's minerals all around us. The rocks, the sand on the beaches, the dirt, the beautiful crystals, if you like to do crystal healing, have beautiful things like this is labradorite. There are minerals everywhere, and we are connected to them. And then I want you to think about all of the plants, the grasses and flowers and trees around you, and remember your oneness with those plants. And go all the way around the world in your mind and connect, feel your connection with all of the plants and trees and that aliveness that things have. They're not objects and they're not animals, but they're living. And we have those in our body too. They're vitamins. We couldn't survive without eating plants. When we eat plants, by the way, we're kind of eating the sun's energy because the plants grew by absorbing the sun. It's all pretty miraculous and very connected. And then expand out to other animals. If you're an animal, I'm an animal, and there are animals around us, probably some of which you love, your pets. And then there's other animals all around. Again, in your state, your country, and then expand out to all the animals in the whole world. And then go a little bit even beyond that to that realm of spirit. You probably know somebody, maybe your grandparent or somebody that has died, but you know their spirit is still around and you are still connected with it through the energy of love. We're still connected with that spirit realm. It's hard to remember because we're in this avatar now of being a human on earth, but our connection is strong. So just feel for a moment your connection to that realm of spirit. And then I want you to connect out even more to the realm, that celestial realm of like angels, ascended masters like Jesus and Buddha, Moses, all those amazing spiritual leaders that we have had. And then connect out even more to the laws of the universe that you have agreed to abide by for now, like the law of gravity, the law of time. There's laws of like vibrations, like sounds and colors. We're in this amazing universe with all of these different laws. And we're a part of those and we're connected to those. And then last of all, visualize your connection to that sparkling, effervescent ocean of flowing unconditional love, your source. That's where you really are from. That's your home. That's the creator of all that is. And never ever are you actually separated from that creator energy. You're part of it. We just keep forgetting. So, right from that beautiful meditative state, I want you to open your eyes. We're going to go back at the very end in just a few minutes to that state. But first, I want to talk about what I said I was going to talk about today, other than your connection to the universe. And that makes you happier because you get to be connected. And now you finally know everyone is connected, no matter what they're going through. But there is also purpose. Our purpose in this life helps to make us happy. So when we're really little, if you've ever had a baby or watched somebody else's baby or toddler for even just half an hour, babies and toddlers are really good at this part of existence, which is being. They are fascinated by things like their own hand. Have you ever watched a baby discover its hand? Or like when you put them in the bathtub and they suddenly notice what happens when they like take a cup of water and the water spills down and goes into the tub. They'll do that over and over and over. Why? Because it's providing them joy, because they're fascinated with it. I know one time when my younger daughter was 3, we lived in New York City, and I think a lot of places are this way. But New York City was kind of especially this way, that as soon as your baby is, I don't know, 6 months old, you sign them up for classes, right? We got to go and do stuff and learn stuff. What are you going to be? So my younger daughter would often be kind of dragged along when I was taking my older daughter to school or to these classes. And my younger daughter was even in like, those mommy and me classes, singing and gymnastics and stuff. So she was like 3. And I was, again, put her in, we got to go, we got to go. And she looked up at me and said, but mommy, when do we get to lie on the grass and look up at the clouds again? I felt awful. My little girl understood being better than I did. We were going to classes, and she wanted to lie on her back and look up at the clouds and talk about the different shapes of them, like we had one time, like 2 months earlier, when I had finally found the time to do that. So kids are really good at that, and that really is part of why we're here, that we keep forgetting kind of to be. But as we grow older, and we're not 2 years old or 10 years old anymore, I think we do need something else to help us to be happy and being here, and that's purpose. We all want to have a purpose. And for one thing, knowing your purpose helps you to find your tribe, your soul family, because otherwise you might feel a little bit lonely. So when you understand your purpose, you find your people, you find your tribe. And purpose helps you to understand why there might be some hard stuff in your life, or in someone else's life. If there's purpose to like suffering, we're much more able to get through it. It's like that book, Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Like when somebody knows their purpose, they can go through almost anything. Not that that's what we want, is to go through something hard. But as long as we're here anyway, like let's have a purpose. Some people's purpose is very public. It's like this huge thing. Like, if you're Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. or even like Oprah or somebody, like they're like, oh, wow, they have these huge purposes. Everybody has a purpose. Maybe yours is more subtle. Maybe your purpose is to make a difference in your children's lives. Maybe your purpose is to change the whole paradigm of your family, that there's been abuse in every single generation until yours. And you're going to stop that cycle of abuse. You're not going to abuse your children. That's huge. That's a huge purpose. Or maybe you're a teacher and you're making a difference in the lives of like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids throughout the years, thousands throughout the years. But it's not like you're famous like Oprah, but that's still your purpose. It could be more subtle than, like these famous people's purposes, but it's still purpose. It's still completely worthwhile. The other thing, if you're not quite sure what your purpose is, use your joy barometer. When you are doing your true purpose, it will give you joy. If your purpose is to work with children, you're going to love working with children. I know I used to work with children a lot in my church. And because we were in New York City, there were a lot of kids who came from welfare hotels and some, just really like challenging places. And they were more challenging kids as a result. And people in my church would always go, oh, you're so good with those kids, Sarah. I don't know how you do it. Like it was some horrible thing I was subjected to. And I was like, I love it. I love working with the kids. And you know why I was good with the kids? Because I loved them and they could feel it. Just like my second grade teacher, I could feel her joy. She just was joyful. I loved those kids. And so they liked being around me. And so like things went better, when they were around me. So I knew that I was on to like my purpose. My purpose is working with challenging kids. One of my purposes. So that's the other thing. You can have more than one purpose. And also there's different purposes at different times in our lives, So you might have like been really into your purpose, like in all through your 20s and 30s, but slowly you realize like, geez, I feel crappy all the time. I'm exhausted. What used to be my purpose is now depleting me. Guess what? Time to move up to your next purpose. But what is it? How do you find out what your purpose is? It's super easy. Does anyone know the answer? You ask. You ask the universe. So we're almost out of time, but we're going to go a couple of minutes over if you can. We're going to go right back to that visualization of remembering our connection. And we're going to just ask. When you ask a question of the universe, as I have you guys do sometimes, keep in mind that the answer that you receive might be in like words, like you're kind of used to when you talk to another human. It might be printed out in words. you might get, though, more like a symbol, more like a picture, like when if you were here when we were connecting with our angel guide, and you get, I know some people got an image that was very meaningful for them. And then they shared with me that they went back and even a couple of days later, like saw more of like they understood more what the image was saying. Like they understood one meaning the first day, and then the next couple of days they were like, oh, and plus this, so you might get an image. It might just be a feeling. If you don't get anything, because some people get a little stressed during meditation. It sounds funny, but I used to be like that, so I understand. I would go to a workshop about meditating and visualization, and they would lead me through, and I just always felt like they go too fast, and I'm stressed. I want to get like a really good answer, and then I wouldn't because I was stressed. But then you can ask to please be shown some signs. You can ask the universe, give me a sign later then. And then maybe, that night you'll check your email and it'll have some ad about like taking a postgraduate course, and you'll be like, oh, I want to do that. That my joy barometer is going way up. And then it'll be like, oh, I asked the universe for a sign. I wonder if this is it. And you're not going to take every little thing like a butterfly flew by. You want to really weigh it and see, like, is the universe telling me something here? But you can ask for signs. You can ask for dreams, and you can always just do the meditation again too. So let's go right now and feel that connection again. It's pretty simple, you guys. Take a nice deep breath. Hold it for a few moments and then slowly breathe out. And now you're going to visualize going out from your heart chakra, out to the universe, feeling that sense of connection to everything in the universe, all the way up and out of our galaxy, through all the beautiful stars, up and out, through all the different layers of light and dark, out of our universe, to that sort of sparkling ocean of unconditional love, where it's an energy of it just is. And you ask, I'm going to be quiet for a minute so you can do that. You ask, Creator, universe, God, all that is, please show me my purpose. What am I here to do? And then you wait and you listen, knowing that the universe is so connected to you, so close to you, and is excited that you're asking a question and listening to the answer, and will definitely answer you. And so I'm asking too, even though I've done this many times before, ask my purpose, I'm asking again, and I'm just getting an affirmation of, yes, your purpose is to communicate this to a lot of different people, this stuff about being connected and being already okay and letting everything flow through you and not denying any emotions, but allowing emotions to flow through you and to have joy. That's the image that I'm getting, that I'm, being a like fountain for that and fountaining it out kind of to other people in like these sprays of water is what I'm seeing. It's like that. So whatever image you get, you say thank you. And then you can even ask that you be led how to accomplish your soul's purpose with joy, with lightness, and not with like heaviness and suffering, because you're done with that. So whenever you're ready, come back to your place where you actually are physically and open your eyes and know that you are always, always, always connected to everything that you need, and that you are on your path of achieving your purpose. And maybe you've already achieved one or two purposes in your life, but there's another one and another one. There's always more that we can do, and we get to do it with joy and with flow. So please, as I always say, go to beyondyourbelief.com. If you want to get some really great energy tools, you would sign up and then you get what's called the Transformation Toolkit, and it will show you some different little techniques that will help you to flow. And I hope that you're able to join me too much on here on Too Much Tuesday next week, May 11th, because I have a really special guest. One thing that is a happiness buster, I think, is if in our families we're not able to communicate, to have peace, to respect others and be respected, to have like this flow that I keep talking about. And so I have a parenting expert on next week, Rebecca Guez from navigatingparenting.com, and she is going to talk to us not just about how to, have a way of conscious parenting, but a way of conscious relationships, whether we have kids at all, whether we have kids that are already grown up, or whether we have just like a spouse, a parent, a sibling, and we wish that our relationship with them is better. I think that's a really important way that we have to address to be happy, because it's easier to be happy sitting alone in a room meditating, right? But when as soon as you go out of your room, there they are, your family, even if they're just on Zoom, there they are. So we're going to really delve into that next week, and I think it's going to be really cool. So thank you guys for joining me, and hope to see you soon.